Well, we all know rainbows follow a storm, but how about this? An experiment will allow raindrops themselves to become colorful. Castille with STEM Nola and Mason Hilliard, a student at Patrick Taylor, join us to explain how that happens. You know, rainbows are beautiful, but how about rain that falls being colored? Tell us about it.
So today we'll be making Coulorful Rain, and the ingredients you need for this experiment is just a cylinder of water, a couple different food colorings, a beaker, glass of vegetable oil, and an instrument to mix the food coloring with. So once you have all your ingredients, the first step you want to do is add all your food coloring, about 3 drops to the oil. And we already have about 3 drops of each into the beaker, but I'll add about 3 more of blue.
So you can do almost any color you want, is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
And then once your food coloring is added, you want to just kind of mix it together with the instrument you have.
Okay.
So while he's stirring, you can kind of see that the food coloring deeps up a little bit. It's not actually mixing well, and that's because it's oil and kind of water-based. It doesn't mix too great. We call this an emulsion. And for example, if you have Italian dressing, like you put on your salad, you'll see that the oil sits on top and everything kind of falls. That's kind of what we refer to as an emulsion because it doesn't always blend together.
Right. Like we say, oil and water don't mix, and that's exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
All right, Mason. So what do we do now, Mason?
So once you're done mixing your food coloring together, put your instrument down, and you want to add the oil very slowly to your cylinder of water. But right before we do that, I actually have a question for our anchor. And the question is, do you think the food coloring would be more attracted to the oil or the water?
I would think the oil, it would absorb it.
Okay, let's find out.
All right. Not a mixologist here, but let's see what happens. I'm kind of looking with you on the big monitor here.
So you'll immediately start to see the oil and water separate, right?
Sure,
you see
right.
The oil go straight
well to the top, right?
Yes, while the water is at the bottom. And oil is a less dense liquid than water, so it is going to go straight to the top. But because the food coloring is water-based and it is more attracted to the water, it is going to fall through the oil and you'll start to see this colorful rain effect. And right now we have some red and green coming through.
Yeah, okay.
We started before, so you can see like the drops will eventually come through the oil and make a colorful effect.
Look at that.
It takes a little bit of a second sometimes for all of them to come through.
It looks like a Christmas rain, that red and green.
Yes.
But I can see it. You're right. I mean, it's starting to get a little more dense, a little more thick as it falls. And this is something, Mason, that is really cool because this is something that kids can do at home. I mean, it's no fire, no matches. This could be a fun project for people at home.
Absolutely. It's extremely accessible. You could take a quick trip to the store and get all these ingredients for a few dollars. Just something you could do at home easily with like your kid or something like that. Extremely accessible.
Yes, very simple.
Awesome.
You probably have most of this stuff already in the pantry or something at home. You can do this. And a couple words that we wanted to throw out today was the liquids being hydrophobic and hydrophilic. So our oil is hydrophobic, meaning it does not like water, while the food coloring is actually, yes, it's hydrophilic. And that's why it is falling through the oil and going to the water. So that is the science behind what we're doing today.
All right, I get it, but don't ask me to spell it. I mean, that's a lot of letters and a big word. So being phobic is being scared, and you're right. I mean, I can see how that works. But boy, I can see really it's raining pretty nicely now in that jar.
Colors now.
It certainly is.
So we have several things coming up, and you can always check us out at www.stemnola.com. Just next month, September 11th, we have our Lung Day. You can register online so that you guys can join us. It's a virtual STEM Saturday.
Sounds very good.
I'd also like to add on.
Sure.
I'd also like to add on to that we have a YouTube channel. It's just at STEM Nola. We upload crazy experiments like this very often that you can just watch at home anytime. I really recommend checking it out.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Again, STEM Nola, great project. You guys do a great job, and we appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and of course, we're going to be watching the storm. So y'all have a good one.
Thank
All right,
you.
You're welcome. Louisiana